Hello and welcome to Those Forking Fangirls, where we talk all things nerdy book, TV, movie, pop culture, and how they integrate into our adult lives. I'm Christine.
And I'm Natasha.
And today, kind of in theme with the new Mean Girls release, we're going to be diving into a discussion of our favorite quote teen movies of all time, which should be a blast because there are so many prolific ones that we just love. But as always, first we're gonna roll into Snap Crackle pop culture news. Natasha, what do you have for us today? You've got some stuff on the list here, multiple things.
There's a lot of casting news. Actually, one Christine you told me, but I found out some extra stuff. So first of all, Last of Us, there's new casting for season 2. Caitlin Dever, who was in Booksmart and that rom-com movie with Julia Roberts, she's cast as Abby, and she's actually one of the main characters of Last of Us Part 2 of the video game. There's only 2 parts of the video game.
Wait, there's no Abby yet? I've heard so much about Abby.
No, there's no Abby yet. She comes later.
Wow.
Yeah, so
I watched the one with Abby when John was playing it.
yeah, me too. So she's been cast. That's really exciting. Daredevil. Okay, so there's some controversy around Daredevil. It's one of mine and Christine's favorite TV shows.
What controversy?
Well, they scrapped the whole script. So I guess Disney did not.
For the new... Hold on. For the new... We have to preamble this because not everyone knows that Disney was doing a new Daredevil show.
Yeah.
But they were going to have the same lead from the Daredevil shows on Netflix, but have a completely different vibe and not have the other 2 leads that went along with him. Yeah. And if you haven't watched the Netflix show, it is amazing. It's very dark, very gritty, very well written, very well shot. It's beautiful. It's so good. And if you haven't watched it, highly, highly recommend it. It's also super endearing and it's on level with Breaking Bad cinematography. Yeah. It's very good.
Yeah, they got a lot of one shots, a lot of great stunt work.
Yes.
Also,
acting's phenomenal.
The seasons are 14 episodes, 15 episodes long, and Disney promised us that they were going to give us that same type of length when they brought it over to Disney Plus. So I think what happened was the rights reverted back. Disney took the shows from Netflix. I think they're back on Disney Plus. They obviously, if you watch Spider-Man, you saw Daredevil. He's in that, and
he was in Spider-Man No Way Home for 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
He was the lawyer.
Yeah, and so there's the new show out on Disney Plus and Hulu called Echo, which is a character, a deaf character that we met in Hawkeye, the Christmas special last year. And now she has her own show, and she's part of the Daredevil universe. So amongst the new show being out, they finally confirmed that they scrapped whatever they were working on because they didn't like it, and it did not include Karen and Foggy. So if you watched Daredevil, these are 2 main characters. Foggy is Daredevil's best friend. Karen is the woman who comes to work for them as lawyers, and she gets
there's romantic tension.
Yes, that's my favorite part.
Daredevil. Yeah.
And yeah, so finally, they're bringing them back because in the first part, they just had killed them off and they're like, oh yeah, they died off camera.
And I screeched when I saw the tweet and screenshotted it, sent it to people. I was so excited. So I really hope that it's a lot like the Netflix show because it was so good.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
Okay, Christine, what do you have for us?
All right, lots of stuff with movies this week. So It Ends With Us was originally set to premiere in February, but it has been pushed to June 21st. It's now set to premiere in theaters. The It Ends With Us adaptation with Justin Baldini and Blake Lively, which is exciting. So they're going to get like theatrical release, which is great. It was so crazy today. I was just listening to Broad Ideas while I was getting dressed, and Rachel Bilson is just casually talking about like what she reads, and she's like, yeah, I'll do a Colleen Hoover book, and then I'll do like this type of book. And I was like, what? They were like, who's Colleen Hoover? And she was like, oh, she's really popular. She's, the movie It Ends With Us that's coming out. Like,
Wow. Wow.
I know. I was just like, this is so wild. It's so cool.
Did you see the set photos of Justin and Blake?
We talked about it. The
You
one where
did?
they kissed?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that one. I thought you were talking about the original ones because Sophie just said the outfits they've been showing. But yeah, I didn't like look at it deeply, but I was like, oh, look, there's another shot from the movie.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited. I'm excited for June. I mean, I totally understand why they would have to move it. But I am excited for this.
I think they're moving it because they can have a theatrical release, and maybe they had to do some reshoots or something.
Yeah. Well, they never finished filming after but when the writer's strike started, or the actors strike.
Okay, so that's why.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. Today in Taylor Swift news, Taylor was at the Chiefs game in -4-degree weather this past week. It was really fun to watch all of the different clips on Twitter and different socials. She was wearing a big custom-made Travis Kelce puffer jacket. I think if you follow anything Taylor Swift, you saw.
Mm-hmm.
And she was in the box with his mother. They were dancing. They were doing what is it called? Like the swag surf or whatever. The whole box was dancing together, which was really cute. Yeah, I think it was like swag surfing, people said on Twitter, and it's a certain song. But it was so cute and so cold. And she was leaning out of the box to give different fans high fours with her gloves. It was cute. I was just gonna say the guy in the booth is holding her jacket so she doesn't fall like a toddler leaning over the edge of something.
Melissa said she gave her scarf to the fan in front of her. I looked at her outfit and I'm like, you don't look warm enough. Like when she was walking out of the golf cart.
Yeah, I mean, but she had her big jacket and a hat, and gloves. But if it were me, I would have a long jacket on that covered my ass. I made a little video about jackets the other day, and someone was like, why would you need a jacket that covers your ass? And I'm like, clearly you've never been in cold enough weather where your ass is freezing and you've had to sit down on something like a bleacher.
Yeah. That's true. So the boxes are heated. Nicole says I heard she was wearing snow pants, like slim snow pants. Snow pants are still they're just you still get cold with snow pants. I'm assuming she's wearing long underwear.
But she might have had a layer underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that was fun. What else do you have for us? Oh wait, you said both of your casting news already. Okay. The last thing I've got on here is, last week I was talking about Attached at the Hip, which is my new Survivor rom-com out May 21st, available for pre-order right now. Link is in the show notes. That's my new book. I'm an author. And I forgot to talk about the most exciting thing. And right after we recorded, I was like, wait, I told the story, missing the most exciting part. So there was a showmance on this past season that I was talking about on season 45. And one of the one of the people on Survivor on the finale was talking about the people in the showmance, and she was like, oh, they're connected at the hip. And she said it multiple times, and I was just dying because again, my book is called Attached at the Hip, where she was meaning that they were like metaphorically attached, you know, connected at the hip. But in my book, like they actually literally get connected at the hip with rope, 8 feet of rope. Anyway, it's a fun time, and it's been so exciting this week. People have been reading it and like messaging me and being really excited, and I've just been just so giddy about it. Anyway, yeah, it's not out yet. ARCs, some people have early readers copies. So you can't get, yeah, but you can pre-order it, which is really, really helpful for me because pre-orders are so important. Or if you don't have the money that you want to pre-order it right now, requesting it at your local library is really helpful as well. Mm-hmm. Or adding it to your TBR on Goodreads is really helpful. All of that stuff does a lot. So thank you for all your support, and all those links are in the description, even the link to add it to your TBR on Goodreads. All right. Moving on to what right now? It's been a week of a lot of great like content consumption for me. Natasha, what have you been reading?
Okay, so I told everyone I started Hurricane Wars after I finished my Hermione fanfic. I bought this physical book, and I told myself I was going to read this physical book because if you know me, I only like to read on my phone, and I don't have a Kindle. And I don't think I'll ever get a Kindle because my phone's just accessible and there's light, so I can read in the dark. So I open up the book and I read the prologue, which is just a chat, like a page. And then I start like, I go take a shower, and I have the book on my bed, and I like try to open it up for my shower, and I read the first page, and I haven't opened up the book since because I don't like reading physical books. I've learned this. I should know this about myself. I just like to buy the books so that I have them as book trophies on my shelf. Other than that, I read ebooks. So Christine was like, I was talking to her one night, and I'm like, what do you think of the chances are of me actually having to buy this ebook so I can read the book? And she's like, 70%. And I resisted all week. I did not want to buy this ebook. One, it's expensive. I think it's like a $15 ebook. And I'd ordered
I hate when
copy.
they're $15 now.
I know.
That happens so often now.
Yes. So lo and behold, last night I was like, I need to just read something. I miss reading. So I bought the ebook.
Yep.
I did.
It happens to the best of us.
I haven't gotten very far. But anyways, now that's in my library and I can read it when I want to. I have been listening to A Flesh in the Fire, which is the third book in the...
It's a fire in the flesh. A fire in the flesh.
I hate these titles.
Fire. That's like cannibalism is happening.
Okay, I'm a third of the way through A Fire in the Flesh, which is the third book. It's still a weird fucking title. It's the third book in the spin-off series from Jennifer L. Armentrout's.
Weird. But this one does sound more like a metaphor. And a flesh in the fire is very literally like there's some flesh in that fire and it's burning.
I kind of just picture like the fire chat in Harry Potter situation.
What?
Where Sirius comes through the fire to talk to him, the flu chat.
Oh, fire chat. It's flu powder.
I know it. I realize that. I just said it now. Okay. So this is the third book in the spinoff series for Jennifer L. Armentrout. A couple, many months ago, we talked about all of these titles. I hate them all. They're so confusing. I never know which one is the one I'm actually talking about. But so far, I'm enjoying the book. It's a little frustrating because our two main characters are not together.
Becca, nah, it's fire chat. Referring to the flu powder chat. Anyway, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Natasha?
I just want them to be back together again. So I'm like, hurry up.
All right, let's move. Oh wait, I've been reading too. I've been back to reading Iron Flame. I'm not reading super fast, but reading faster than I was before because I'm giving myself some time every night to like open it before I fall asleep, which I was just reading in the shower before, and I'm feeling more into it because my characters are finally like in the same place more, and they were being like dodging each other, not on purpose, but like the author was making them just miss each other a million times, and I was getting so frustrated. But now they just made out, and I'm like, good. I hope something more happens soon. So the thing with Iron Flame is like I have to get my camera upstairs so that I can vlog, and I finally got it up. So I hopefully will be reading more at night. What movies have you seen this week?
I saw Mean Girls. Yay.
My God, I want to see it so bad. I have tickets to see it that I got in the little Mean Girls box that I got sent. So I need to go, but I need to bring someone with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to a screen. I went to a screening on the lot of Paramount, and it was very cool. I'd never been to that studio before. It was like old Hollywood. And I love the movie. Everyone's really hot, and I think everyone is such a phenomenal singer, aside from like one person. But I will not share my thoughts on all of it because Christine hasn't seen it. But my favorite scene is the Halloween scene, and I'll just leave it at that.
All right. Well, I mean, we know the classic Halloween scene. Like, why are you so scary? It's Halloween. Katie says, will you guys be able to read House of Flame and Shadow when it comes out, or will I have to wait a bit? And I'm going to try to fucking read that ASAP.
I will read that ASAP.
Yeah, I don't want to be in the same situation that I was with House of Water and Breath and Sky, whatever, the other one. Those are starting to get really confusing in my head. But I am going to be at my sister's bachelorette when that comes out. So I'm just going to have it when we're on the beach and when I'm not being a mother hen. And on the plane, I will be reading House of Flame and Shadow. So we'll see how that goes. I'm excited. Okay, I couldn't believe. I don't know if you saw that she posted a quote from House of Flame and Shadow on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
And I cannot believe that it's just so casually posted. Like, I know they're probably at this point like, this is just going to sell more books, but I feel like it really ruins it.
I think so too. I mean,
there was a huge spoiler in the quote, by the way. Sorry, I didn't specify that, but it was huge spoiler. And if you were following her, maybe you saw the spoiler. Like, you can't miss it because everyone's reading her books, so everyone knows these names. It's not like people aren't going to pick up.
I just imagine my friend who right now is literally trying to make his way. He's reading he's on like Crown of Midnight or the next one after that, and so that he can get all of Throne of Glass done. No, he's on like the later ones, Queen of Shadows. So he can get all those done so he can read Crescent City and then the next one. And he doesn't know. He has no idea. And then that quote was posted as he's like on his way, making his way there.
Megan, if you haven't read, have you read Akamath and the other two Crescent City books? Because if you haven't read them, then you will be spoiled. Okay, you have to read the second Crescent City, or else you will be spoiled. So I would read that, because the books are starting to reference each other, and it's getting spoilery if you haven't read. Yeah, maybe get the audiobook, because the second Crescent City it's long. Like it feels long
It's
because
really long.
it's a lot of setup and a lot of new characters. That's a part of the reason why it took me a really long time and I ended up having to get the audiobook. The first one is so good and so like you devour it. It's addictive. And the second one is like you can tell she had to do a lot of like setting up and we didn't get a lot of like nice arcs yet because setting up for I think this third book.
I had to read it in conjunction with the audiobook because I still was like missing things while you're listening. So I don't know if that helps too.
Yeah, there are so many names and like so many just like kind of new species of like things, people in there and that you have to like file away. I feel like because we don't really dive deep into them, but like she'll mention like a dragon and I'm just but it's a person and like these different types of fae and I'm just like I need notes. I need to take notes, but I'm listening to the audiobook and I'm like cleaning. So anyway, all right, those are the books. Wait, we talked about movies. Oh, movies! I watched Killers of the Flower Moon. The Martin Scorsese movie that Leonardo DiCaprio's in and Lily, I don't know her last name, but the lead woman in it just won a Golden Globe. Yeah, she's fantastic. But do I recommend watching the movie? Not necessarily. It's 3 hours and 26 minutes. I don't know why no one is talking to Martin Scorsese and being like, dude, that's too fucking long. And like when you watch the movie, the first hour and a half is like riveting. And then there's another fucking hour and a half of just like repetitive slowness that you don't need. We didn't need another hour and 20 minutes could have been cut from that movie. People move slow, they get up slow, they sit slow. I know it's based on a true story and it's terrible. It's a terrible story to like witness. It's just, it makes you feel horrible because these men are fucking horrible. And I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not going to say what they're doing, but it's like about horrible men. Lily Gladstone. Thank you, Melissa. She is the lead. She's fantastic. But it's so long and it's so grueling, like just mentally to watch how horrible people are being. But yeah, it's a true story, but it still could have been edited down, just like everything's edited down to 2 hours. Just make it 2 hours, 2.5 hours. If you're 3 hours, you have to be like a fucking sequel to a massive phenomenon. Like I will watch a 3-hour like Marvel Avengers Endgame. I think Endgame is 3 hours. Like it doesn't feel like 3 hours, but like a 3-hour historical gangster movie where everyone's talking very slowly and moving very slowly and doing basically the same horrible thing to lots of people. It's very slow. Like I had to start talking through it because I was watching it with some friends. I was going to fall asleep. We paused it after what felt like an eon and we still had an hour and 25 minutes left. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh my goodness. I was like, oh, maybe Alex and I should watch it, but he can't even, that way he wouldn't be able to watch it after work. We have to watch it on a weekend.
You can watch the first hour and a half and then like the last hour.
Oh, okay. Break it up. Yeah, that would make sense.
Maybe. I don't know, but it's a hard watch because it goes on for so long. It starts to really like make you feel. I just wanted to fucking murder Leonardo DiCaprio so many times. I just want to fucking hate him.
All right, Christine, what are the TV shows you've been watching this week?
Oh my God, it's been such a great week for TV. Okay, The Traitors season 2 came out, which the 2 Survivor queens are on this season, and I'm just having the fucking best time. Parvati and Sandra are on the season. If you don't know, Survivor season 7 just came out on Netflix. This is one of the best seasons and it's early season, and it's so much fun. And if you haven't watched Survivor yet, and like season 2 wasn't for you, and season 3 wasn't for you, and season 6 is not on there, but I think it would be for you. But season 7, you can't stop watching it. It's great, and all those characters are staples of the Survivor universe. So highly recommend watching that. That is Sandra's season 2. So it's phenomenal. Anyway, okay. So yeah, The Traitors is out. There's also a lot of like really fun people from Big Brother on it, and The Challenge, and just like all of these reality shows, Below Deck, and they've got a great cast. I'm very entertained. The Housewives, there's a housewife on it that's one of the traitors. She's great. And then on Saturday, I started watching The Bear, and I finished all of season 1 in one day as I was cleaning. I turned it on while I was cooking, and then I couldn't stop watching. I watched it during dinner, and then I was like, I'm just going to watch it while I like declutter. And by the end of the night, I was on the finale, and I was like, fuck, this is amazing. I haven't felt so like riveted in all the different ways in so long. Like I had those feelings that I used to have when I was watching like an amazing episode of Breaking Bad, except it's less intense in terms of like there's no murder and there's no one selling drugs. It's Natasha talked about it when we were talking about our top TV shows of last year, and you know, it's about this chef, and he is the best chef. Like he was the chef at the best restaurant in the world, and then his brother dies, and his brother works at a sandwich shop in Chicago, and it's his shop, it's his restaurant, and he leaves the restaurant to him. And so he leaves his big hoity-toity restaurant to go run his brother's restaurant, because what he always wanted to do was open up a restaurant with his brother. And it's a fucking hot mess. And Katie, wait, so it's not a live action Ratatouille?
No, there are no rats involved.
It's very much a dysfunctional family atmosphere. Like there's a lot of yelling, but everybody loves each other. And the first season is like chaos as he tries to organize this restaurant. And then season 2 is like making it into something great, and everyone's working on themselves, and it was just like the most inspiring thing. I mean, also like can give you like some PTSD if you have like dysfunctional family life, but like it's so well done. It's so well done. I felt like almost at home with it because I feel like I'm so used to that kind of chaos in a house. like it's a chaotic Italian family.
Except you're missing like yes chef, yes chef.
Yes chef. I love the chef. Yes chef, yes chef.
You should next time when you're back home, you should have like when you're helping out Olivia who's in the kitchen, like, you know, making up her spagagoo.
Watch it.
You just go like, yes chef.
Yeah, so season okay, Nicole says I didn't make it to season 2 because season 1 made me anxious when I watched. Yeah, that's what it can
why
do.
I skipped season 1.
So Natasha skipped season 1. It's just so rewarding to watch the progress of the characters from season 1 to season 2. Richie has the okay, I'm going to talk about the arc a little bit. So if you want to skip ahead, if you haven't watch it, I won't talk about it in detail, but like this character Richie has like the most beautiful fucking arc, and he in the first episode he's such a piece of shit. Like I hated him, and like if you don't see that, you don't feel like the joy of watching his arc. I was giddy as fuck watching this amazing episode in season 2 where they use Love Story in the episode, and I was just like, I was literally jumping up and down while like he was having his moment and that song was on. It was beautiful. And there's this one episode in season 2. It's a Christmas episode, and it's an entire episode where we're back 5 years in the past, and it's a Christmas at this Italian family's house, and they're doing 7 fishes, and it is fucking madness in there, and it's so well done. Like the cinematography, when things are chaotic, the cinematography starts to get chaotic. Like it feels almost like a really well shot home movie, the way that the camera moves around. And there's just people everywhere having conversations everywhere, arguing about random shit. Like, you know how an argument is when you're like with family versus like with another person? Like they'll just say anything. It's just so real. And I just love how it's shot and edited. And I gotta talk about the soundtrack. It's perfection. Okay. There's so much power in the perfect end credits song. Like it packs such a punch in sealing the episode into something fantastic. Like it really, like it nails, if they nail the end song, it leaves your brain thinking about the episode for so much longer, and that song becomes attached to it for the rest of time. Like Breaking Bad used to nail it all the time. True Blood used to nail it all the time. That's when I really started to appreciate it. Like True Blood, like they'd end on this cliffhanger, and then the perfect song would blast right after. And Mrs. Maisel has had some of those. It really elevates it. And the bear fucking nails it every fucking time. Every time. Those songs are perfect. And I cannot wait to go back and listen to the soundtrack now, because it's so cheeky and beautiful and unforgettable. And I'm just so, so happy that I watched it. Highly recommend.
I'm so glad you watched it too. It's definitely one of my like new favorite shows, and obviously it's getting so many accolades in the award season. So it's instantly shot up to like one of my favorite shows. Like it's so good. I'm definitely going to rewatch it eventually. I'm going to give myself a little bit of a break, but it was so well done, so well written. Oh, so many warm feelings too. I got a phone call with her. She's like, "So I watched all of season 1 tonight." I'm like, "What?" And the next day, I finished season 2. Wow.
You know when you watch the perfect thing at the perfect time too, and it really hits different? This was like the perfect moment for this. I've just been feeling like I felt such kismet with the bear or Jeffrey or Chef or like whatever you want to call him. He has like 5 names. Cammy. Everyone in the bear also has like 50 names, like nicknames, and like their last name and another nickname, and it just also feels so like I feel so at home with that too, and it feels so real and like so like family. Like that's what you have with family. But what was I saying about this?
It's a perfect time.
Oh yeah. So like Cammy was like really getting his shit together at home, and I felt like I was getting my shit together because I'm like starting to feel a little better and getting better sleep, and my house was a fucking disaster, and I was putting my house back together while I was watching it. So felt good, man. Felt good.
Yay.
Anyway, all right.
Real quickly,
What about you?
I have I've been I don't know if I told you guys this. I have been making my way and rewatching Game of Thrones with our friends Taya and Liam, because they have never seen it, and we did a whole Game of Thrones shoot last year, and they didn't really know anything about the show. So it's been very fun watching it with them now that we're on season 7. So we are in the I love season 7, but it goes way too fast because there is no book behind it. So it's very interesting watching them watch the show and also forgetting a bunch of things. So yeah, I've been rewatching that a lot. And then new show on Apple TV, Monarch. It's the Godzilla show. It's actually pretty good. It's very well. Okay. Some parts are well done. It has a lot of budget behind it. So it's a really fun, amazing show to watch, to see what they have done with the CGI and how grand it is. The first 3 episodes really just grab you, and then everything else kind of, Alex and I were kind of waning, and we haven't really picked it back up. I think we're on episode 5 we're on like 6 or 7. So we'll hopefully finish that. But I think it's a good start. I'm excited to see like how they build off of this, because it's very exciting and adventurous and an interesting take on all the Godzilla stuff.
Yeah, I was just listening to this week's Armchair Expert has Kurt Russell and his son Wyatt Russell, because they play the same character across time, which is really cool.
It's very cool. Yeah, there's some romance in this, which I really love. So it's
nice.
It's good. Yeah, there's multiple timelines too. There's like stuff from World War II to like the 70s to I think like 2013. I think that's when they that's like the future, the present.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, that is what right now today. Very extensive. Lots of good stuff. We're going to move on into our main discussion. But before we do, we got to quickly thank everybody out there listening. We appreciate y'all so much. This is a listener supported podcast. We could not do this without you. And if you're not already, we'd really appreciate it if you follow the podcast for free in your favorite podcast listening app. And if you like to watch the visual version, we're on YouTube. Every episode has a visual version. Hello. If you subscribed for free to the podcast on YouTube so you never miss an episode there, that would be wonderful and really help us out as well. We're youtube.com/@those4king-fangirls on YouTube, obviously. We're also on the Instagram and the TikTok if you want to follow us at Those Working Fangirls there for updates when new episodes are posted and all that jazz. There's lots of fun socials happening over there. Chloe Leverson runs our socials and she's fantastic. So if you want to check that out. And of course, we have a Patreon, and that is why we can do this every week. We love our Patreon community. We have so many fun perks over there. Right now, we're offering a free trial for 7 days for our Team Jacob tier, which is the tier that gets the lives every week. And also our extra show, which is Fangirl Tea Time. It's an extra half an hour every single week where we're telling stories and talking about some deeper things that are going on in our personal lives and digging a little deeper into the topics that maybe we talked about on the podcast. So we love that. We love our community there. And if you want to check that out, the link is in the show notes. We also have 2 other tiers, Team Edward, where we do a bonus episode every month. This month, we're doing a commentary for Charlie's Angels, like the Cameron Diaz, Lucy Liu, Drew Barrymore one. We're watching that, I think, on Friday and recording our commentary. So that's going to be fun. We'll be releasing that. And we also have our top tier, our Team Polis Bananas listeners, and that's where we do fangirl bonding sessions over Zoom every month, and we really get to know everybody, and it's really, really nice. And you also get the chance to be on the show. You can fill out a form, and we take on a listener every month to be on the show with us, which is really fun. Okay, that's my whole spiel, but thank you so much. If you're a patron, we appreciate you so much. If you're listening at all, we appreciate you so much. We appreciate everybody. Thank you for being here. All right. Moving on to our main discussion. Teen movies. Yeah. So Natasha, before we even go into our list, I want to ask, why do you think teen movies are so prolific? I feel like they really have such a solid spot in the culture. Everyone has their favorite teen movie.
I know. You know what? I think because high school is such a small but extremely important time in everyone's lives.
Our development.
Yeah, our development. And if you think about it as a character or as you're maybe if you're playing a video game, you say you finish the video game, you finish your life, but you only got to play one part of that life and you only got to see it from that one point of view. I think teen movies bring us into different points of views that maybe we weren't a part of, like the popular girl or the theater guy, or I don't know, like the two best friends and maybe you didn't have a best friend, the girl who becomes a princess. So I think that I feel like they're so addicting for people who had all these fantasies, who maybe didn't get to experience them, or they did and they just want to experience them in different ways.
There's a coziness to them, like to being able to relive your high school years. So Katie's asking, do you mean movies about teens or movies that came out when you were teens? So it can be either or, but there are movies that take place like high school, you know, like the main setting is high school. That's what I would say is a quote teen movie, where the lead character is going through their like teen years, you know, like a very intense moment in their teenage life. But yeah, I completely agree. It's such a formidable time, and we all have such visceral memories of that time. And yeah, if you didn't get to like have a high school romance, it's so fun to watch like a high school rom-com and like live vicariously through like maybe like the nerdier girl like living that dream and all that stuff. It's so fun.
And like
everyone can relate to it.
Yeah, I see some people in the chat here. They're like, I hated high school. I hated high school too. I had a terrible time in high school. I was dealing with so many like family things, and I think Melissa says like they were an escape. Yes, like these movies were an escape, and they're just
they
like
still are.
Oh yeah, I rewatch them all the time. It's just like
they're so nostalgic.
And they're easy to watch too. If you like, some of these on our list are just like so fun to put on and reminisce and kind of bring us back to maybe that moment that we watched them and how we felt when we watched them.
Yes. Yeah, the first time. So do you want to start on your list? We both have a bunch because I tried to do 5 and it's impossible. And I just added one that I just forgot about.
I put that one on my list. I was you have stuff on your list I'll talk about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I missed that on your list. Do you want to, so we both have like 8 then.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, down lower, I have To All the Boys I Loved Before because I wasn't in high school when it came out, but it's like, I mean, I read the book.
It's still really good.
Yeah. I think this is the only one where no, I have 2 on here where I read the book and then I watched the movie, and that was like when I was really in my big like reading era. And I think when we think back to our high school years, that was like early 2000s. They weren't at all diversified, so a lot of these are just white girls and boys kissing girls and boys, and there's not a lot of diversity there. And this is like one of the ones where we had somewhat of a different culture that we were learning about. I mean, especially when we have Her Little Sisters TV show now on Netflix. But it's
Kitty.
Yeah, it's just such a fun concept. Like, I remember learning about how she wrote all these letters to all these boys and they all got mailed out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what if that happened to me? You know?
It's a great hook.
It's a great hook. And of course, one of them, she sends it to like one of the most popular boys in school, and he reads it, and there's all these fun hijinks, and they kind of start like a romance, a relationship, and it's like wish fulfillment. It's
fake dating too. Yeah, everybody loves that.
Yeah, and like imagine if like I always had such burning crushes in high school. Like imagine I wrote a crush to like my like wrote a letter to my number one crush, and then he actually returned the feelings as well, or at least wanted to play along. I mean, that's what hooked me, and I freaking love that movie.
Yeah, no, it is like such fun wish fulfillment to imagine doing that and then like living out her the life that Lara Jean gets to live out here with all the fun drama with these boys. Katie says it's fun to watch people who are old enough to have drama but free enough from responsibility to avoid being too mature, and that is exactly what I was going to I was gonna voice that sentiment. It really is. It's because once you get a little older, like you can't make those mistakes and like recover from them as fast. Like you have too much responsibility, there's too much too many people depending on you. Like you can have this drama, you can make mistakes, and you can learn from them in ways where you're not like hurting as many people around you for because not as many people are depending on you because you're not an adult, and like it's different. It's so different. But okay, I also loved To All the Boys, and again, like that came out in like late 20s, and I loved the books, and they were just really well adapted. They're comfort movies now. Like I will put them on because it's one of the best book to movie adaptations of a contemporary that we've ever gotten. I feel like.
Shot says, I started writing letters to boys I had crushes on too after because it was quite therapeutic.
Oh my God. I didn't have crushes on boys at the time, but I did think about it. I was like, that would be so fun.
Laura says that it was interesting for her to see American high schools as a South African. Prom, cafeterias, football, it was another world for her.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. It's just such a classic backdrop to like the American high school. It's just such a staple that everyone recognizes so quickly. All right, before I start my list, I have to mention like 3 that I couldn't get on the list, but like these are classics that I still love and like think about all the time. There's John Tucker Must Die, which is just so much fun. If you haven't watched it, Brittany Snow is the lead, and there's just 4 of them that have dated John Tucker, and like it's so fun. And then Bring It On, which like has a lot of problematic shit in it because it came out in like 2000, I think the year 2000. Like when you're watching it now, they'll say some stuff, you're like, oh, ow, oof, but like it was such a big pop culture moment. Like it was the first time that cheerleading was like semi-accurately portrayed in a movie, like the competitive side of it and that world. And it like so many quotes from it just live rent free in my brain, and like so many scenes, like the scene with the toothbrush where they're both brushing their teeth side by side. Like, why is that so? It was just so viscerally relatable.
Sean says John Tucker is the male version of Regina George, and it's so true because they just grab this girl. They're like, okay, you're new, let's make you into so and so you can get with him.
Well, no, but she's saying that John Tucker, the character, is the male version of Regina George. Yes. But John Tucker is like because he's a guy, I guess, like no one's afraid of him, everyone just loves him. But like Regina like rules with fear.
That's true.
But Regina doesn't like, I don't know if she dates like everyone and like just pretends that she doesn't know that they don't know that it's not casual. She has like her eye on Aaron and Shane, and I don't know if there's lots of others, who knows. But anyway, okay, and then I have to talk about real quick Ferris Bueller. Like that came out way before our time, but like Ferris Bueller, that opening scene, man, it's so fucking good. I've watched it 1,000 times. I'll never forget the first time I watched it, where my screenwriting teacher was like, you all have to watch Ferris Bueller. Like it has one of the most amazing opening scenes of all time. And I watched it and I was like, oh shit, like I want to write something like this that sticks in my head as hard as this does. It's so fun. And yeah, I don't love the whole movie as much as I love the opening scene. I think I've watched the opening scene for like inspiration a million times. Anyway,
Can I add to the classics? Can I add to the classics?
Yes,
Okay.
add to the classics.
So I freaking love 10 Things I Hate About You. That is one that I'll rewatch constantly. Like Heath Ledger singing na 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 na.
He sings that in it?
Yes.
I have to rewatch that movie.
This is an iconic scene, Christine. Why don't you know this? Or when Julia, she reads like, "I hate the way you talk, and I hate the way." It's such a good speech. She just redid it one someday on a award show thing. She redid the speech, and it made me cry. It's such a good one. And then I was always obsessed with 16 Candles, like the turning 16. My mom had me watch that, like all of those classics from what's his name, John.
Oh my God,
Pretty in Pink, Breakfast Club.
John Hughes. John Hughes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Breakfast Club. Yeah, I never really watched 10 Things I Hate About It. Like I did watch it once in like college, but I didn't like feel attached to it. I don't remember it at all. And I tried to rewatch it recently, but like I didn't like the way the camera looked the first like 10 minutes. And I didn't know Julia Stiles that well, and I just like stopped watching. So I have to watch it to give it another shot. All right. But number 8 on my list is Love, Simon. This has become such a comfort movie for me. I, of course, read Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda and loved it by Becky Albertalli. And this movie, like the first time I watched it, because I read the book so close to it, it didn't really like sink in with as much love as I now have for it. Every time I watch it, I like it more. And like I laugh and I feel so cozy and I just fucking love it. It's so sweet. And the family dynamic is so like warm and fuzzy. I love it so much. I've watched it on planes a lot to like lull me to sleep, and I'll wake up and like it'll be at whatever scene. I'm like, oh my God, it's so cute.
That's like me in Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah, it's really, really sweet and funny, and the acting is great. So I love it.
I have to ask, because I was looking up different lists of teen movies, and most of them just had like the high school movies, but then some of them like had like Twilight in it and Hunger Games. I'm like, yes, those are YA movies, but that's not a teen movie.
Yeah. It needs to be like at high school. Like, yeah, the Princess Diaries, everyone's saying that's a teen movie.
Yes. That's my number 2. I loved the Princess Diaries.
Oh, spoilers.
I know.
Wait, what's next on your list?
I have the last song with Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth. Listen, this one was such a big, this one came out, I think I was a sophomore in high school or freshman in high school. And it was right after I read Twilight and I was reading all these books. And so I read the last song by Nicholas Sparks.
I can't believe this is on your list.
I know. Well, now I don't really want to rewatch it because there's like familial death in it. But I remember being so obsessed with it because of Liam and Miley. And I didn't really like I wasn't a big Hannah Montana fan or really like a big Miley Cyrus fan. But I was reading the book in anticipation for this movie, and it was such like a big deal in my life in high school, alongside like my best friend Abby was reading it and her mom was reading it, and we all went to the movie theaters to watch it. And yeah, I probably should have maybe put this at number 8, but because I think I have so much in common too with this character, that's why it's on this list. And
yeah, it's almost, oh, sorry.
Well, and I think it was just like a big part of pop culture too, because like that's where Liam and Miley met.
Yeah, for me, it kind of just went right over my head. I was older, and it again, it's one of those. This is one that for you is like because you watched and read it as a teen, that it was a teen movie because it takes place like on the beach, right? It's like at a house.
Yep.
Yeah, and would you compare it to like Mandy Moore, A Walk to Remember or something? Like, is it that sad? I can't even remember the plot of the last song. Okay.
I feel like Mandy Moore's A Walk to Remember is a little sadder because she actually dies. But yeah, it's in that same realm of like we have a song with it, and I was gonna put A Walk to Remember because I do love that movie as well. That's why I put last song instead because that made more sense.
I tried to watch that like after or at the end of high school because everyone loves A Walk to Remember, and it was so shitty. I couldn't even watch like 15 minutes. I was like, this acting and these like the lines feel so ridiculous.
Yeah.
I can't. And I didn't want to watch it. Like, I don't want to watch a movie where the main character dies. Jesus. Like, I don't know why everyone was so obsessed with it. But it was like a cultural phenomenon for people like in our age group. I feel like everyone was obsessed with A Walk to Remember.
Yeah.
That's, anyway, okay. So the last song, Miley Cyrus.
Hand back. That's how the song goes. I think Only Hope.
Is that A Walk to Remember?
Yeah.
See, I don't even know that. The next one on my list, like this isn't technically high school, but they're 13 and that's 8th grade. And this is Bo Burnham's film that came out in like 2019, I want to say.
Oh.
It's so good and so real. It's like perfectly captures that like super awkward, uncomfortable time when everyone's like going through puberty and you're having your first like boy girl party. It's like a pool party and it's so awkward. Like everyone's weird and like braces and like crushes are so awkward. Like it's so well done. I don't know. Did you ever see 8th grade?
No, I never watched it.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. And it's just like the relationship with her dad is like so sweet, and he's trying so hard to like, be a good dad, and like she's a 13-year-old girl, you know. Yeah, Elsie, the lead actress, it's such a phenomenal job. I think she was nominated for like a Golden Globe or an Oscar, I forget. She didn't win, but I really loved that movie. It was my favorite movie of that year. It was so real. And so like, that's a time you block out. Like you just don't think about it because it was like so awkward and like uncomfortable. And this movie brought back so many feelings. And also brought to light like some new ones because social media was a big part of like these 13-year-olds' lives and how the seeing through that lens when you're like in such an awkward stage of your life and everything's so confusing and like you're growing, it was a whole nother can of worms to worry about. But yeah, it's really, really good. Highly recommend watching 8th grade.
Okay, I'm gonna watch that. Yay, a new movie to watch in high school. I think that's the funny thing is it's like when I go to watch something that I just want to like sit and kind of not think too heavily about, it's gonna be like a high school movie or like a rom-com. So like these are the movies that I love to just sit and rewatch and rewatch and rewatch. Now my number 6 is Aquamarine, and I actually hadn't rewatched this until probably last year.
Oh my god.
I think this one came out when I was like in eighth grade, like 7th or 8th grade. So,
were you that old? Because I watched this too. I guess I was in high school.
I must have been in like 6th. If it's 2006, I was in 6th grade.
Yeah, I guess I was 15.
Aquamarine, 2006. Yeah, so I was in 6th grade. And this is like all the ones where we like all my friends are like, oh my gosh, we're gonna go to the movie theaters and they're like our Juicy Couture and watch Aquamarine. Like, this is such a time. And I had always been obsessed with mermaids.
And there was that Island in the Sun song that they sang for it. I mean,
Yes.
it's Weezer, but like they did a cover.
It's just this is like a good like best friends movie too, where instead of, yes, there's like things here and there for little romances that may or may not happen with like the mermaid and some of the other characters, like JoJo's in it, and Emma Roberts, and like those are like really fun moments with like their crushes, or the girl who plays Aquamarine, and I don't know, I just loved it. It's such a fun one. You said you wrote Our Lips Are Sealed. Is that what they sing?
Okay. Yeah. What? So I completely forgot about like all of the Mary-Kate and Ashley movies because I wasn't a teen when I was watching them, but like they were totally teen movies and I was obsessed with Our Lips Are Sealed. Like this is definitely like older millennials were like teenagers when these movies came out, but like I was like a little like 9 and 10-year-old being like obsessed with Mary-Kate and Ashley. And Our Lips Are Sealed takes place in like Australia, and they both like meet really cute boys, and there's this like diamond that's been like stolen, and they have to like find the thief or something. And it was just so fun. I think that's my favorite Mary-Kate and Ashley movie, other than Double Double Toilet and Trouble, which is when they were little.
I never really got into the Mary-Kate and Ashley movies. I remember my cousins were really into them. I watched New York Minute, but they weren't my thing. And I think it was because I am a twin and I didn't like that they were twins because I didn't want to relate in that way.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Nicole was saying I was obsessed with Holiday in the Sun and New York Minute. I'm not talking about Holiday in the Sun, right? Because I feel like I used to get those confused. Holiday in the Sun, I think it was Our Lips Are Sealed that was in Australia, but like New York Minute wasn't very good. I tried to rewatch it recently because I was like, I remember not liking this, and then I started and I watched like 15 minutes. So I was like, I don't like this. I turned it off. Oh my God, Billboard Dad. Oh, I forgot about that one. I love that one. And Passport to Paris. Like they were such a staple of like millennial culture for like the like prime level millennials, like not the young ones, but like prime and older, I think were like oh my God, Mary-Kate and Ashley. Yeah. Mary-Kate and Ashley used to do like had a show too, and like I would rent their videos from the video store all the time. They'd have like these little like half an hour adventures.
Wow, they were an empire.
Yeah, they were. And now they're a fucking fashion empire. I literally didn't know that they were doing anything right now. They have like a really popular luxury brand called the Row that like all of the celebrities wear.
Mm-hmm.
No
idea.
idea.
There, Elizabeth and James as well. Wait, can I just go back to Aquamarine for a second?
Yes, go back.
So Laura said that the movie made everyone I knew want blue highlights, and that is a correct statement. I remember everyone wanting blue highlights and like getting those like little like blue clippy in thingies. And then Katie says the line, "Why go through life unnoticed?" changed my life. And I remember, because it was just like we have this like mystery girl come into the scene, and she really develops these girls' confidence, and that is, I think, the best part of the entire movie is their friendship and their confidence developing.
You know what kind of gave me those feelings? And it was a very similar, maybe like type of thematic movie. Super Size or what? No, not Super. What the fuck was the one with Tyra Banks when she became like a living Barbie?
Oh,
don't be shy, be a star. Where you live, where you are, be a star. Like that, like shine bright no matter who you are. Like that song was so. It was with Lindsay Lohan, I think, that movie too, right? Was she the little girl? I can't remember.
I don't remember this. I think I've seen it only once.
let me see if anyone Life Size. Okay, yes. I love that movie, and that was like really empowering to like be yourself and not be ashamed and like be confident. And because much like Barbie, she had that sort of like attitude, like, why would you ever be ashamed of like who you are? You're beautiful. And that was like the Barbie of our time. That was the Barbie movie.
Yeah.
That was, yeah, I completely forgot about that movie. But it did have like a strong impact on my psyche, and that song sometimes still comes into my head. Eve's great no matter where she goes. Dress her up from her head to her toes. At the town, at the mall, Eve loves high fashion. Anyway. All right. Also, Nicole said I love the movies where they were little and solving mysteries, and that's Mary-Kate and Ashley, and I loved those too. Oh my God. All right. We're getting off topic now.
Yes. Reel it in. Okay. Your number.
Reel it in. Okay. 6 on my list is Booksmart. And this was a fairly recent teen film, but it was fucking brilliant and so funny. And I had such a great time watching it the first time that I haven't watched it again. And I really want to. Like, it's time to watch it again, but because I can't like pull out scenes anymore because it's been like 3 years since I watched it. But it was just directed so well, and it was like that female perspective on like a teen like graduation partying movie. Like, everyone called it the female Superbad, and it really was, because when I tried to watch Superbad, I hated that shit. I felt like no connection to it. I thought it was dumb, and I didn't get it. And then like Booksmart, complete opposite. Like, I felt so connected immediately and loved everything in it, and it, like, couldn't stop laughing.
I have never seen Booksmart.
Oh man,
I know.
we should watch it.
Watch me watch it on my own, because I'm like, I just need something new.
Yeah, just watch it because we'll never get to it.
Yeah.
Katie said Booksmart called me out in so many ways. Like, I watch it to keep myself in check. Oh my God. Nicole says, same for me, Superbad. I did not understand. I still don't understand. I've tried to rewatch it, and I'm just like, this is a boys movie. Like, all I can remember about it ever, no matter how many times I tried to watch it, is the stupid McLovin thing and the period on the pants. Like, this girl is grinding on a boy, and she has her period, and her period goes through her pants and like gets on him.
What?
And I'm like, yeah.
I just
It's in the movie. Do you not remember?
No, I've never seen the movie. I don't want to watch it.
Oh, yeah. That happens in the movie. It's a big scene. It's just like
that's
not
a
a girl
disappointing
movie.
choice to make. That's how I feel.
Yeah, it's not a girl movie. It's not a girl movie. But yeah, Booksmart, excellent film. Definitely watch it. All right, what's next for you? What's 5?
Olivia Wilde directed it, right?
Yes, she did. It's her directorial debut film, and she killed it.
Okay, number 5 is She's the Man with Amanda Bynes.
So good.
I could rewatch this movie over and over and over again, and I still laugh at all the same parts, and I still get giddy over the what's his name again?
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum.
I love him in this movie. Yes.
So good. The tampon in the nose.
Yes. Duke. Oh my God. They have such great chemistry. Like, they are so cute together in that movie.
I just, as someone who with a twin brother, I had thought about this very often of, could I become Alex? Would this be able to really happen? And it's just, I mean, it's so fun. The concept of this film, it's I mean, I think it's been done before. I'm sure. I feel like
I mean, it's Twelfth Night. It's
12th
Shakespeare.
Night, yes, that's what I was like. I knew it was Shakespeare. It just the concept of like a female like going into the den of vipers of men.
It's Mulan.
Yeah, it is Mulan. Duh. But hilarious. It's just it's so good. I just freaking love it, and she's just amazing in that. Amanda Bynes.
Yeah,
Amanda
had such amazing comedic timing. Like she was so funny. Like the Amanda Show, she was like 12 years old doing that, and she fucking killed it. Like she was hilarious to all of us watching as children. Like she was my comedy idol as like however old I was.
I mean, there was really no one since who has done it as good as Amanda Bynes.
Like as a child.
She was a
child comedy prodigy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Katie said that. Oh, sorry.
I think I talked about this in one of our episodes, but I did meet Amanda Bynes at Disneyland. Okay, move on.
Yes, you told the story.
Yes.
Yeah. Katie says Amanda Bynes was for sure the celebrity I based my personality on in childhood, and me and Olivia too. We would be like, Amanda, please.
Yes.
And like, time for a hillbilly moment. I'm gonna hit you in the head with a fish. like all those sketches, like bring in the dancing lobsters, and like totally Kyle, totally. We would just do those voices all the time. Oh
I
my God, I like
eggs.
eggs. The girls' room. So good, man.
Is that
Becca says her facial
streaming?
features. I don't know, but Becca says her facial features remind me of I Love Lucy and Jim Carrey, but for youths. Yeah, I totally see that. Yeah. She was an icon, and it's so sad that like Hollywood chewed her up and messed her up because they were terrible to her. Yeah, Caitlin says I'm rooting for an Amanda Bynes comeback. Me too.
Me too.
But yeah, she really shines in this movie, and she's phenomenal, and she's the man. And like empowering. Like I love this this theme, this, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, trope, where like the girl goes undercover into like the guy's world and like fucking kicks ass. It's the best. All right. So 5 on my list is a movie that I feel like changed me when the first time I saw it, and that's Grease. The Grease from like the 70s. I watched this movie as like a 7-year-old child and was instantly obsessed with it. Like everything that is like potentially problematic in it just went right over my head. I was just like, I love these songs, the dances, like Danny Zuko is so cute, like I want them together, and it just was my first, I think, image of like American high school, like because I was so far away from it as like a 7-year-old.
I remember Alex and I, my mom would be like, what do you want to watch? We're like, Grease. And then we would just rewatch it and rewatch it and rewatch it and rewatch it.
Yes. Grease lightning. Like,
yeah, and Alex would get up and like do the dance.
Yeah. Go Grease lightning. And like we go together like like all the bang, 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 like that brings me so much joy. I watch Grease with an enormous smile on my face like the whole time. And if you haven't seen it, like watch the original Grease. It's fucking fantastic. Yes, they want her to smoke and drink to be cool, but like put that aside and have fun with it. Like it's just the choreography and the chemistry between the cast is so magic and like so classic. And I know people. Oh, go ahead.
No, you said I know people.
Yeah, I know people have like issues with like her trying to change to be with him, but I feel like they're ignoring like he tries to change to be with her. And like there's something really sweet about trying to like be better in like not like be better, but like be relating to the person that you like so that like you have common interests, you know? Like it's like this compromise and like I want to try what you like and you try what I like. And I think that's so sweet. Like
I know. I don't even think about all the controversies with the storytelling of it. I just love the songs. I think it's really funny. Everyone's pointing out that we were all supposed to be convinced that they were all high school aged. And yeah, I didn't ever really think about how these are like adults playing high schools. Not like, I think adults back then is very different than adults now.
yeah, I think that like everyone just looked a little older then too. Like if you look at people in high school in even the 80s, they look a lot older than people in high school in like the 2000s. Like it's just time is different. People are different.
Yeah. Yeah,
But-
Katie says also that's what you do when you're a teenager before you gain confidence. Yeah, you just,
Yeah, you try out different personalities
yeah.
and you kind of like figure out what fits you. And yeah, I always just get so the friendship in it, like how kind of like they're like a family, you know? I love that. They kind of always come back together to support each other. And like him and his guy friends have like a really loving undertone to their relationship. I fucking love it. I love Grease.
Yeah.
And those songs are such like core memories for me. I put them on and I just want to dance around and have the best time.
Beauty school dropout.
Beauty school dropout. The scene at the dance, the high school dance, that's like one of my favorite scenes ever in anything. Like I love it so much. I want to do the dance that he does with Olivia Newton-John on the floor.
Do it for your wedding.
But I also want to do so many other things for my weddings. All right, what's next on your list?
Okay, I have a new movie. It's The Kissing Booth from Netflix, and I fucking love this movie. This is just like we thought we weren't gonna get something as problematic as like Grease again, but here we come. Here it is with The Kissing Booth, and I love it. I love all like the whole. It's a brother drama once, which is one of our Christine and our favorite things.
Yeah, I love The Kissing Booth too. Not two, not the second one. I love the first one. I just think it's so fun.
Yes, it's so fun, and it's funny too. It's like all
well,
the
that's
little
why it's fun. Like they're great,
and it's fast. Like the wit is fast, and the pacing is quick, but also like slow when it needs to be. It's just, I feel like it's a well-paced movie. And I also fell in love with Jacob Elordi in this. And he was just like the new hot thing. And I was like, whoa, who is this guy? Like, yeah, of course I'm going to be joking and like love him. And there's a whole, there's like the naked scene too, that we, when after she gets drunk and then he like has her
with the curtain.
Yes.
That is comedic genius, like physical comedy at its best. It's so funny and so like, how did that happen?
Okay, so I just, what, I love this movie. It's one that I'll rewatch over and over again. I get all the giddy feelings all the time with the two of them, and because he's such like a bad boy, and then he's just like, he doesn't like her, and he doesn't like her. He gets annoyed with her, and then it turns out that he actually does like her, because now she's a woman, because she's grown into her body and she's not a little kid anymore. And I love that shit. I fucking love that shit. So that's what I always wished happened to me.
He's such a bad boy that he like outwardly is like, I can't believe I was in those movies. I didn't want to do them. I'm like, fucking Jacob Elordi. Like, shut up. Like,
Oh, Lord.
they are what broke you out into the Hollywood world and gave you those other jobs. So please sit down.
Yeah, exactly. I just like, be quiet, sir.
It's very Alex Poffelter to me, or whatever his name was.
Oh my gosh. Well, that man didn't have any acting abilities, so he kind of shot
he was
himself
just
in the
really
foot.
problematic.
Yeah.
Dickish.
Oh, true. Okay, what's next on your list?
All right. What's next? Okay, that was your number 4. Okay, my number 4 is one that I haven't watched in a long time, but I loved this movie and I needed to watch it again. The Edge of 17 with Haley Steinfeld and Woody Harrelson. Yeah. I just remember being so blown away by it, and I was like, this is one of my favorite movies, and I haven't rewatched it. There's like so many of my favorites, like I would say like half my favorites I've rewatched a million times, and half of them I've like had such a great experience the first time that I like don't want to like spoil it by like rewatching it, which it's time to break
I think
that.
you showed me this movie and you had already seen it once, and then you showed it to me and I was like, what? I love this.
Yeah, it's so good. Haley Steinfeld is such a talented actress, and I guess I love her things where she has like, I'm obsessed with like all the things where she has like this father-daughter relationship with like an adult dude that like reaches out. Like, isn't that also True Grit? Is she in True Grit? Is she the little girl in True Grit?
Yeah, it was her first
Oh my
role.
God, I'm obsessed with True Grit too. And Hawkeye. Like all the same. Oh my God. Yeah. Edge of 17, fantastic. Highly recommend. If you haven't seen it, it's definitely like a more indie release than some of these other big titles.
Yeah, I just rewatched it, I think like last year. I loved it.
Yeah, I own it on Amazon, so I should rewatch it.
Yeah, I think it's on Netflix too. I think you can stream it.
Oh, nice.
So is She's the Man. So is Kissing Booth. Okay.
It's so many good ones.
Okay. Next on my list is Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. This one definitely came out. I think I was in elementary school, possibly.
Yeah, I was a little like, I didn't want to read it or watch it, but I watched it and I didn't feel much.
Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants 2. No, wait. Where's the first one?
I missed this like train. I never read the books, and so I was like not connected to the movie at all.
Okay, this was in 2005. I was in 5th grade. So the reason why this movie stuck with me, I related to this is the first time I saw someone who looked like me on screen, because America Ferrera played like the chubby best friend, and I had never seen what I had been through portrayed on film and to be represented, the fat shaming and all of this. But then suddenly all of these girls are able to wear the same pair of pants, and I was never able to do that. I could never go shopping and find something at the same store that one of my friends were. So this was like a big deal for me, was, seeing that on screen. I remember my mom, because my mom grew up in the same way I did, but she still didn't want me to look this way, and she still added to all of the shame that I felt of being, plus size growing up. But she did grow up the same way, and so I remember watching it with her, and she said like, "Oh my goodness, I've never seen something like this, or this way portrayed." And not only just America Ferrera, but I loved everyone. I thought Blake Lively was so gorgeous, and Rory, what is her name? She was Greek, and I'm Greek. Why am I blanking on her name?
Alexis Bledel. Alexis Bledel.
Yes.
Oh my God. I was like, why am I blanking?
Yes. And she got to go to Greece, which is something I've always wanted to do, and like visit where my roots are from. So I had lots of little roots built into this. And then I was so obsessed with it, I wanted to read it. My mom bought me the second book.
Oh.
And it was, the first book is a little different from the first movie. And so when I got to the second book, I was like, wait, what? I'm confused. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah. But I was so young and I wanted to read it, especially when the second movie came out too. Gosh, I love these films. The two of them that came out, they were so pivotal in me growing up and being able to see myself on screen. And America Ferrera is amazing and I love her. So
yeah, I think I was at that like teenage age where I was like 14 and it looked like a kid's book on the shelf or something, you know. I did watch it though, but I didn't know any of the actresses. Like I hadn't watched the Gilmore Girls and I didn't really understand the concept. I remember being like, wait, are they magic jeans? Like, how does it work? I want to know more. Where'd they get them that they're like, why is it magic? I had like those annoying questions. I was just like, sit down and just accept it and move forward. You don't need to know how magic works.
magic jeans.
But anyway, everybody has so much love for the Sisterhood of Traveling Pants, so I missed it. I missed a highlight of the mid-aughts.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
What's your number 3?
My number three is fucking Easy A. What a staple. I feel like of teen movies in the last like 15 years. I think it came out in 2011, maybe 2012.
Yeah, I think it's 2011. I was in high school.
Yeah, it's Will Gluck, the same director that just directed the new Sydney Sweeney movie. He was at that time one of my favorites. And I was paying a lot of attention because my screenwriting teacher was like, start paying attention to directors and to producers. And so if when you have a film and they ask you, like, who do you see producing this? Who do you see directing this? You have a list. And Will Gluck was the top of my list.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Easy A,
Yeah.
I remember there was a Twilight reference and everyone in high school had to come tell me that there was a Twilight reference in the movie, that I needed to go see it immediately. Because I was a Twilight girl.
Easy A was so funny. Like,
Yeah.
I've rewatched it recently. It's so good and it's so sweet. Like, it has that like the perfect combination of funny and dramatic and, you know, sweet and heartwarming. It's so good.
I just realized he must have a thing for Natasha what's her name?
Bedingfield. Yeah.
Bedingfield,
Oh yeah. No,
because
I
Pocket-
registered that the second that was in the
I
movie.
did not.
Yeah.
I got it because I didn't know he did
I
both.
got a pocket full of sunshine. I got to love and I know that it's all mine. Oh.
I got
Iconic. I think he was trying to recreate that though, and it didn't work because it happened too late in the film. It wasn't like that. This is the thing. I feel like a lot of stuff was cut in this new movie. What is it called? Anyone But You, because he's usually very good at like carrying these jokes through, and like they didn't have the same punch because they all came like pretty late, and even like some of the character development, like the fact that she always wanted to get married, like popped up later on, and I was like, that should have been like in the intro someplace. Like there should have been something that hinted at like how she always dreamed about like her wedding and stuff. Sorry,
so-
I'm going on a tangent.
Easy A is a retelling of not the Crucible,
No, it's Esther. It's the Scarlet Letter, except like high school with comedy.
yes. And
I don't know if it's even a retelling. It's just like a play on it.
True. And Katie's like, again, I think there's so much more potential in classical movies, classical books remade into modern rom-coms. Yes. I mean, it's always such a good idea. My number 2 is Princess Diaries. This came out when I was very young, though. And I remember, I think my parents went on vacation and my grandma and and her best friend took me to the movie theaters to see Princess Diaries. And I would not stop talking about it afterwards. I was very young and I was obsessed. I mean, I've rewatched this so many times. My favorite thing about this is like it turns. Listen, I always like to go for like the hot boy who like actually has like a soft heart when it comes to tropes. And so when she had a crush on him in the movie and then tried to do her like leg kick, whatever it's called, her toe pop,
the leg pop, the foot pop,
Mm-hmm. And then it didn't go well and he just like made fun of her. I was like, oh, well I'm like, that's dumb. But then she ended up getting with the other guy, but then he didn't come into the second
guy.
one. Yeah, which I didn't think he was cute, and I was like young.
No, he had like a Beatles haircut.
Yeah.
In the year like 2003.
I think he's actually related to the director who did Godfather.
He's the lead singer of Rooney. No shit, Melissa. What the fuck?
Laura says he was much better in the books.
Oh my God. I can't believe he's the lead singer of Rooney. I always wondered if that guy was actually in a band. That's so wild because I was obviously like way too young to know. And I'm not like super familiar with Rooney. I got into Rooney because like in the OC, I feel like Rooney did a big like set like in one of their episodes where they were at that hall where all the concerts happen. Oh my God. So wild.
Well, he's a Coppola.
What?
Yeah. He's like, I think he's cousins with Nick Cage or something. I don't know. I forget. But I watched a whole video on this on
Nick
TikTok.
Cage? What do you mean? Coppola's different than Nick Cage.
Nick Cage is a Coppola. He changed his last name so that he wouldn't. Are
you shitting me?
I'm not shitting you.
Oh my God, the nepotism?
Yeah, the nepotism.
No. This is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
So Cage isn't his real last name?
Nope.
What? So who's his dad? Francis Coppola?
No, so Francis I think is his grandpa. And then Francis had obviously I think he had like 2 girls and 2 sons or something like that, and one of those is his father or mom or whatever.
Bonkers.
Yeah.
Bonkers.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Wow. Well, back to the Princess Diaries.
Oh, I just have to say, even though I didn't like who she ended up with the number 1, we got Chris Pine in number 2, and I love number 2.
Number 1, I recently rewatched both of these. Number 1 is a lot better than number 2, but number 2 is still okay.
Number 1's just iconic.
Oh my God.
I remember like going. Do you like have very distinct memories of seeing the movie and then everyone had watched it that weekend and then going back to school and everyone was talking about it? Or I remember everyone was singing the song that she was singing.
The Mandy Moore song.
Well, that one, Stupid Cupid.
Oh my God.
Na-na-na-na.
Stupid Cupid. Yeah.
But it was.
Oh, you mean Breakaway? You mean Breakaway?
No, I mean the little dumb song she was singing in the choir and in the car.
Oh, but Breakaway was in this movie or in the second movie. I spread my wings and I learned how to fly.
Yeah, I have pocket full of suntan.
Catch a
in my
falling
head.
star and put it in your pocket, Katie's saying.
That's it.
Oh,
Catch
and
a
Becca and
falling
Melissa also.
star, put it in your pocket, save it for a rainy day. And we would all sing it in choir.
Oh, interesting. That's also in Lost, or they reference it in Lost or something. Anyway, I don't have visceral memories of like everyone talking about it after. I do remember Mandy Moore's songs "Stupid Cupid," da, 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 like being a big thing, and the foot pop. Like thinking about that a lot.
Yep.
Like when I have my first kiss, is my foot gonna pop?
Yep.
And then like in pictures, everyone like would do like the foot pop, like leaning to the side. The foot pop was a big cultural movement after this movie.
Really was.
Oh
Or the like painting with darts.
Yes, I wanted to do that. I never did.
I think we did it in Girl Scouts. A lot of these movies are like my Girl Scouts would go. We would all go together as a troop to go watch them, and then we would do something from the movie sometimes.
Nice. I remember I loved rock climbing. Like whenever there was a rock wall and you could like pay $5 for a ticket, I would do the rock wall. Mm-hmm. And then like in this movie, she worked at a rock gym, and I was like, there are rock gyms.
Yes.
I was like, that's so cool. And then I think I had one of my birthday parties actually at a rock gym, and it was so fun.
All right, go with number 2.
Okay. My number 2 is like the quintessential teen movie, in my opinion, and that is Mean Girls 2004 with Rachel McAdams, Lindsay Lohan, Karen. Oh my God, what is Karen's name?
Amanda Seyfried.
Amanda Seyfried, and whoever plays Gretchen, who is the only one that didn't go on to do a million other things, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know her name either.
But every line in that movie became a phenomenon. Like if you weren't in high school in 2004, 2005, like I don't know if it was the same for wherever you were at. Probably not if you were a child.
No, it was.
But
we all watched it. We all said all the same fucking things.
okay. Well, yeah, in middle school, I feel like, yeah, definitely. But like a child probably didn't say all of the things.
We were like 11.
Like literally people were doing the three-way call all the time, like doing that thing where like they ask about someone and then the other person's on the line, and you know what I'm talking about, like that iconic three-way call scene. Yeah all the time, every line. Like, Katie, I'm gonna call you Caddy, and like if you watch the film now and you've never seen it, you will just see all these things that people say, and they're all because of Mean Girls. The limit does not exist. Like the limit does not exist. Like that people just say that is from Mean Girls. Like, Tina Fey created the most iconic script, I feel like, of the millennial generation.
Yes. Well, that, and I mean, you Googling Coco, like everyone just says that.
That's called math, Christine. It is math, but like people say it, I say it and think it just about random shit, not math. Like the limit does not exist.
Wow, I didn't know you thought about that one so much. Katie.
Oh my God, so much.
Katie says that she still watched it, but she didn't know what sex was. But I knew if you did it, you would die.
Oh, that's my God. That scene was parodied so much when I was in high school. And I still always think about it. Like, if you have sex, you will get chlamydia and you will die. Like, so funny. Like, just everything about it sticks with you. And, like the tables, like that's the first time I'd ever seen something like that. And then they did it in like so many teen movies afterward, but like they're mapping out the cafeteria like according to the cliques. And like while we've seen that done, we've never seen it like labeled in all the way. Like this is the cool job. Like what? Where?
And my number 1.
But it was the first time I'd seen like all these cliques put to names, and it was like so validating because it was like exactly like my high school. Like there was like I can't even, there's like the art freaks and like the cool art freaks and like it was so real. It was so real.
I distinctly remember like girls calling themselves the Plastics, and we were again 11 years old. Yeah, and they were like the mean girls. They're like, we're the Plastics.
Okay, I was past that because we were in high school and no one wanted to be plastic.
Yeah, I mean, I think showing this movie to 11-year-olds was a time. We were like the Sephora girls now. Have you seen this whole big thing about the like 12-year-olds in Sephora on TikTok?
No.
Okay, I'll just briefly. It's just all these girls with like no budget, and all they want is drunk elephant with retinol to put on their skin, and they just want rare beauty, and they're like fucking demons in the Sephora store.
Oh no.
Yeah, so imagine that was us when we were 11 years old, but like in Juicy, as we like stormed through Nordstrom's, finding like our little Juicy sets and our purses. And yeah, that's us in Orange County with Mean Girls.
The soundtrack to Mean Girls was also like iconic. I just hear it in my head all the time. Mm-hmm. Just everything about it is so in my head. And like of course there's the iconic talent show scene and the iconic like she wore army pants and flip-flops, so I wore army pants and flip-flops. I parodied that so many times. That montage is iconic.
It is iconic. Yeah, that whole movie is just iconic.
Yep. It is.
Lives rent-free all the time.
Good. Yep. Most quotable movie of all time. Shots. Mm-hmm. All right. What is your number one?
My number one is Clueless. This came out in the 90s, and it was something that my mom showed me, and I was obsessed with Cher. I loved all of her outfits. Like, this was like fashion for me. This is what started like Natasha being obsessed with fashion. I wanted her closet where you could go on the computer and pick out your outfit, and that's still not fucking available to this day. And I think that it's funny too. I'll never forget this line, like the father in like this movie. I had never really experienced LA. I was behind the orange curtain here in California, and my mom would tell me all about LA, but then the dad, she'd be like, I'm in the valley at a party, and he's like, you get home in 20 minutes. Anywhere in LA takes 20 minutes. And now that does not ring true anymore.
How does it only take 20 minutes? I'm so confused.
I don't know. Apparently. Yes, Paul Rudd is in this movie. And I remember being kind of weirded out watching it, being like, oh, that's her brother. I don't understand. And my mom had to fully explain it to me that it was not her brother. It was the son of the woman that he had married, and it wasn't at all related, but in my mind it was her brother, and I was freaked out about it. Loophole incest. Yeah, Clueless walks and the Mortal Instruments could run. That's a good one, Laura. Anyways, Clueless is the quintessential teen movie to me. It was one of the first ones that did the whole like classification of people, of like the weed heads.
Star Wars walked so the Mortal Instruments could run.
Oh,
Sorry.
that's true.
That's where she got it.
Yeah, they also did like the classification of things, because they had the Brittany Murphy who comes in as the new girl, and they have to kind of, show her the ropes of the high school, and the whole makeover scene of Brittany Murphy too is really fun to watch. And it's like a Katie Heron, but if Regina George was actually nice, but then kind of using her for her fun and games.
Emma.
Yes, it's based on Emma. I remember.
Right?
watching it and the way like Alicia Silverstone says Elton, and that's that's the character from Emma. So watching Emma and being like Elton. Yeah. Okay, that's my number one.
Yeah, I'm just like so out of the Clueless love bubble because I didn't like it when I watched it. Whenever I watched it, I feel like I watched it, tried to watch it in high school or college.
They had the song "Rolling with the Homies." I remember loving that song too.
Okay, my number one is 17 again. I'm obsessed with this movie. I've watched it 1,000 times. I find it just, it's always so funny, and I it's just the comedy, and it's so good. The pacing is so good. So this is starring Zac Efron. It came out also, I think, around like 2011 time, and maybe a little before or after. Anyway, and basically Matthew Perry is having like separated from his wife. They're having some marital issues, and they got married really young because she got pregnant in high school, and he never got to go to college on the scholarship for basketball because he had to get a job immediately because she was pregnant and they were in love, and like they kind of cut off their potential to like follow their dreams right out of high school because they had to do a different dream and like be parents and get married and all that stuff. So now they're like in their 40s, and he's really dragging about like how his life should have been so different and blah 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 blah. So he ends up just like waking up 17. Mm-hmm. And his best friend has to like act as his dad and sign him up for high school, and his kids also are teenagers at the high school, and it's so funny. What's her name? Michelle. Fuck. Do you know what I'm talking about? The girl in the movie. She was also in like Gossip Girl, and like people used to tell me I looked like her.
Oh, Michelle Trachtenberg.
Yes, Nicole. Yes. She plays his daughter, and then he's got like a younger son who is kind of nerdy and like wants to be on the basketball team. And then Zac Efron ends up like helping his kids find their way in school by like befriending them, and it's so cute. And he's like also trying to like win back his wife, but he's like a 17-year-old, so it's really weird. And he looks just like when they met, and she's very confused. It's so good. And Zac Efron does an amazing job. He's literally playing like Matthew Perry playing this character. He has Matthew Perry's mannerisms and talks like Matthew Perry. But it's so good. It's so underappreciated too. I feel like not enough people talk about 17 again. It's such a fantastic movie. Ugh, it's so good. I
haven't watched that in such a long time, but this was also like such a big movie when it like we all went to go watch it too and talked about it, and everyone...
He looks so hot in this movie too when he like gets out of the car with his like leather jacket and glasses, and they do this like slow-mo of him walking into the school. Oh my god. Peak Zephron.
I just remember because I didn't understand the whole High School Musical hype, and I was like anti Zac Efron for some reason because I just was like, I don't want to be a part of this. Katie. And no, this movie made me love him.
Katie says, I say that's my Troy Bolton, and I'm proud. Oh my god. Yeah, I can't believe you didn't like him. I went through like a week where I felt like that, Natasha, and then I gave in and had the best time.
I mean, after the movie I gave in. I was like, yeah, I do like him.
He's too impressive, man. He's got moves, that boy.
Truly.
All right. Okay. Truly. That's our list. I think we hit on so many good ones. I'm feeling just like so giddy just talking about that.
I know. Now I'm probably going to go rewatch some.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right. We are going to move on into Mary Kiss Cliff. All right. I picked these based on some of my faves on this list. We've got Zac Efron in 17 again. Penn Badgley in Easy A, and John Travolta in Grease.
Oh, Lordy. I don't remember Penn Badgley.
What you gonna do?
In Easy A.
Oh, he's cute. He's really sweet. He plays the mascot.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember him. It was all about Emma Stone.
He comes at the end on the little thing to her window. Oh, it's so cute.
No, I gotta rewatch it now. Oh well. Okay, so I think I'm gonna marry.
Sean says I will be at the bottom of the cliff to catch any of these.
Okay, because I want to live that cool boy life, I'm gonna marry Zac Efron from 17 again.
Nice.
Because
nice.
I'm gonna redeem my
How can you not?
my high school self and fall back in love with him. I'm gonna cliff Penn Badgley because I don't remember him in Easy A right now, and then I'm gonna kiss John Travolta in Grease because oh my gosh, he was hot.
He really was. I used to think he was so cute. I watched that movie. I'm like, oh my God. I too am gonna marry Zac Efron in 17 again. Like he's Zac Efron meets like Chandler Bing, and that's just perfection. And then I think I am also going to kiss John Travolta from Grease and also like do a dance. Dance with me. And then I'm gonna unfortunately kill Penn Badgley, and I think it's mostly because I have now watched a lot of You, and I don't know if I could get past it. But I have listened to Pod Crushed a lot, and I know that he's a really cool person. So, but yeah, Penn Badgley and Easy A might like scare me just because I've watched him as a serial killer a lot.
Yeah, I don't.
But,
I
yeah.
forget about that. I don't like him in You.
I love him and You, but like not in a way that I want to date him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
but
talented.
like somehow he always brings me back around. Like fuck, I'm like I'm rooting for you, man. All right. Well, that is going to wrap up our show today. Thank you all so much for joining us. Our show is edited by Alex Polis and Jake Needham with music by Cole Jenkins and vocals by Heather Troska. Our socials are run by Chloe Laverson. We are at Those Fucking Fangirls on Instagram and TikTok and on YouTube. And we are Fork Fangirls Pod on Twitter. We'd love it if you followed us on one of those platforms or all of them so that you're updated when stuff's happening with the pod. Mm-hmm. We release episodes every Friday. We're off to go record Fangirl Tea Time. We're going to be talking about some stuff that went down this week over there. I've got some stories that I didn't get to last week from the break. So Chapter Chat is going to be coming out weekly now on Thursdays, the day before the show comes out. And we're going to be first re-releasing all of our previous ones in groups so that anyone can listen to them and catch up. Mm-hmm. And then once those are caught up, because we'll be doing it in chunks, like we said, then we will be releasing a weekly chapter chat of the chapters that we read that week on Thursdays. So that's exciting to look forward to. I feel like it's much easier to keep up with and go back to once you read and catch up and easier access. So yeah. All right. So if you're interested in checking out Tea Time, that is available on the $5 Patreon level and up. The link is in our show notes. You can get a 7-day free trial, see if you like it before you commit, or you could do an annual subscription if you do want to commit, and you get to save 2 months worth of Patreon. So that's cool if you want to save a little money. Thank you so much for supporting the show, and we will see you next week, y'all. Bye.
Bye.